All right. Y'all already know what time it is, y'all. If y'all got any kids, any elderly people who don't like provocative or cuss words like shit, fuck, and anything else, leave the damn room. Because we not using them words today. We not using the words like that. Today, we got Chef Wilson bought us some food, so you know we're going to be grub. We're going to be grubbing. We be grubbing. And so the lineup goes very simple like this. We got some grown-ass men talking some grown-ass talk. And we got drinks with us. We got Funky Cold Mixologist is in the building with us. Miss Medina Smith is with us. She be on camera later. She cracking ice right now.
I was going to say in the back, tearing up a dead body or something back there. I'm not sure.
She's chopping a dead body up. So listen, today we talking about focus. And I appreciate Q for putting the little light bulb over my head because we were talking about lyrics, and my book was inspired by one of the best lyricists there is, none other than Sean Carter, Jay-Z. I wrote a book called The Book of Carter. It's available. I'm about to wait a minute, damn it.
Damn, she feisty tonight.
Feisty as hell.
Damn.
Fred, don't bring her no more bread.
No more bread. Like a lie.
No more bread.
Right. A hella twist of line.
So we were just telling her, I was just explaining where the topic come from today. So the book is available on Amazon.com. It's called The Book of Carter, the Business Bible, written by Miles Dixon. Now, let's get right down to it. To my right, shut your ass. to the right of me, we got the one and only, the big homie, the one we call Mr. Q Lewis.
What up? You already know what it is, man. It's your boy Q Lewis holding it down live from the 48205 Red Zone, baby.
Whatever gang signs, he just threw up gang, bang, bang, boom, boom. and to the right of him, and to the right of him, he got none other than the actor extraordinaire. I could say his name in many different languages and dialogues, but he go by the name of Mr. Don Snipes.
What's going on, everybody?
Oh, okay. And of course, to the one, the only the one who be blessing us every single week on Girth with that damn food. I mean, he be bringing us shit. We don't even know what to say. We just be speechless because it'd be incredible. As we say, what is this? He say it's love noodles, and we just eat the shit. He go by the name of Chef Wilson, y'all. Give him a round of applause for Chef Wilson.
All right, thank you. You know, we're gonna cook it up tonight.
There you go, and another one. Yo, listen. So, Fred.
Yes.
Microphone checker.
Check. Oh. What's happening here?
Yeah, there you go. Right there.
Right there. Okay.
Yeah. Can you hear Fred talking to Mike?
Most definitely. Cook it up.
Kind of not really, though.
Okay. We can't
Not
hear.
really.
Cooking up? Oh, yes.
Is it on?
Is it on? Maybe it ain't on.
Check that file.
It's on.
Yeah, it's on.
Michael check one cookie. No. Oh, no.
It's broke.
Oh,
It's broke.
track. Do this one. Take this one off. Track 6. Put up track 6.
Unless the cord out. Check 1, check 2. Live in the building. You already know what it is, cuz.
Fred.
I'm trying to kill the dead air.
Check one.
Oh, okay.
It's right now.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah, we're about to cook it up.
I was going to say, because if you wasn't ready, I had a story to tell if he wasn't ready, but it's cool. He ready now.
So Fred said we gonna pick something. I let Fred pick the title and he picked focus. Fred, why you pick focus?
You know, it spoke out in volumes. You know, I looked through the whole book, but I kept coming back to focus because much in life, everything we do, we're being told by our mother or father, we tell ourselves, it's in the Word, about being focused. To me, it just spoke in volumes. And outside of focus is distractions. Right? Mm-hmm. So distractions look good, they smell good, they taste good, they feel good.
What we talking about?
I'm saying?
We talking about distraction.
Oh, yeah,
Distractions,
right.
and they get you unfocused.
Facts.
So, as I read through your book, it was amazing. That was
Thank you, dear brother.
Chapter 1 was my life, right? So, I believe it's what we need to do in our community, in our homes, in our relationships, business, is just to stay focused.
Right.
You know, so many people get lost because they're unfocused,
Right.
and no one can help you with that but you.
Okay. That's very true. So when like Don big on focus too while you playing. Don used to be like Don used to come to Switchblade me like, man, why y'all eating that bullshit? This is some real. He have a big ass salad.
Salad. That's what I need. Some salad.
Some fresh greens in the morning. You know what I'm saying? And some fish. You know what I'm saying? Some omega-3s and 6s.
Okay.
Brain food.
That's right.
That's what it was about for me. Talking about focus. What I took from what I read, it was something that I think people will look past, and that was being pushed in a place where there is a necessity to focus.
Right.
I think oftentimes in life, you don't know what you can accomplish. You know, you don't know how big your faith is. You don't know, some of the creative genius that lie within you until you are put in a position. And a lot of people, when they're in that position, they lay down. That's not the time to lay down. One of the biggest things that I learned over the last few years was get comfortable with being uncomfortable. It's something that, I'll admit, even in my own life, I think we all, sometimes just avoid being uncomfortable, whether it be, emotionally, physically, financially, or spiritually. And for me, I have been more and more starting to embrace being uncomfortable. It's like, living at your edge. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it forced you to make a move, basically.
Absolutely.
But what you were saying too, though, about people who are forced into finding or forced into a situation where they are uncomfortable. Some people will lay down though, and that's when you start finding out the character in yourself and the character with the people that surround you. Okay. So I think it's almost important to almost force yourself into positions where you are uncomfortable, where you have to make those decisions and figure out who are these people that are around you. Okay. Like, 'cause a lot of times you don't know until it's too late. And then you're like, damn, this is my circle?
Right.
Because, like, right now, everybody in here is dealing with some uncomfort because it's hot as hell in here.
It's definitely
I'm cool as hell.
Because you by the window. I'm hot as hell. I can't take my hat off because I haven't shaved yet and shit. I look like George Jefferson.
Let me see.
He got the W. He got the winning W.
Hell yeah. Hell to the law. Let's keep that real low right now.
I want to say, I agree with you guys 100%. I've been in positions where I've been uncomfortable, but those have been the moments when I've been learning. I've been at work. It's something new, and I'm uncomfortable with it because I don't know it. It's not my norm, but that's my opportunity where I've learned the most. So I agree with you 100%. It is not time to lay down when you're uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I love that,
Yeah.
Yes.
But how do you know though? Like how do you know if how do you know that you gonna lay down if you've never been in that situation? And I just say that because a lot of times you find yourself in uncomfortable situations, obviously not knowing. So like I guess is it any way to tell if you up for the challenge if you've never been challenged?
Well, sure. If you're retreating, you retreat. That's
that's your nature. So that means you've done it in something else.
Yeah,
basically, I got you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not making any excuses and moving forward. Most people start making excuses. I see that a lot.
Yeah.
Instead of just being quiet in your space, and just all it takes is a minute to figure it out.
Yeah.
I do believe in stuff. We get up each and every day. And that's a discomfort because we don't know what the day brings, or sometimes we do. With some things in the day that, you got to call back this bill collector.
Student loan people.
Yeah. Like, okay. Now,
Sorry, I ain't never called them.
Yeah, it's the 8th. I got to call them on the 8th.
They ain't even got to worry about that.
I got to call them on the 8th. They close at 5. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, call at 5:01 like I tried.
But I do. I agree with you 100% on. I'm learning how to embrace that discomfort.
Yeah.
I'm always learning,
Yeah.
moving forward. So guess. But you say, how do you know?
Yeah, how do you know? Because you kind of don't know until you place into that situation. It's like, is it? I guess the question I want to ask for probably, I guess, everybody is if like we knowing that, like you knowing you don't really know if you're capable of handling that until it actually happens. So knowing that, how do you ever get like prepared to take on a challenge that you've never experienced? Like it's kind of like a double-edged sword. It's like you got it or you don't kind of thing, or like can you ever prep? Like,
I don't know. You ever been in class and the teacher is like, okay, we're all going to read this. And you say, you're going to read a couple of paragraphs, whatever. You try to go ahead, like, okay, this is going to be my part right here.
Yes.
For sure.
And then you don't get picked for it, though. But then you don't get picked for your part. The one you prepared for.
I think that and this is something that I was just studying recently. Again, the most important moment is the present moment. People who live in the past have a tendency to be depressed, and people who anticipate the future have a tendency to suffer from anxiety. So I think that the more we especially teach our children, and if we had learned this process when we were young, that at the end of the day, nothing matters more than the present moment. And again, we don't know what the present moment holds, but we're in the moment.
Right.
And so since you're living the moment, you're being in the moment, when those moments do arise, as they say, you know what I'm saying? I'll cross that bridge when I get there.
To it. And sometimes I used to think I'd cross that bridge when I get to it was a cop out or a punk out. You know what I mean?
But it's the truth.
Yes, but that's to also give people say, well, I don't have to read. I don't have to prep myself. You know what I mean? Because it's like in football, if your body not conditioned to take a hit, your ass hit.
Yeah, certain situations certain situations cause for that.
I'm just saying, because if you never got your wind knocked the fuck out of you, you wouldn't understand what I'm saying.
Nope.
And if your ass had to
got hit in the ear hole,
you have to get used to it, and you have to break and prepare for shit like that.
Yeah, some things you have to prep for.
Yeah,
some things you have to prep for.
So in business, especially in business, I know when people say, "Well, I cross that bridge when I get to it." That can cost you $20,000.
Yeah, in business, that might not be a good idea. So I think you need to prep for some of that shit.
I mean, but I'm just telling you, like, how you handle small shit is how you handle everything. If you petty about the smaller shit, you're gonna be super petty about big shit.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How do you grow out of that?
Experience kick your
experience, or be around people that's gonna give you your whole card. Like, hey, you bitching out.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Luckily, I've been around people who say, "Doc, man, that was some dumb shit you did," and I might be in denial for the first 2 days. But when I go look at my bank account, I really realize that was some dumb shit I did. So
exactly.
With that note, I think people but down to your point, you were saying that cross that bridge when you get to it. That's a true statement. And sometimes crossing that bridge just meaning attacking your fears.
Absolutely.
You feel me?
Listen, my uncle used to have a saying: "Those who listen do well. Those who don't catch all the hell." All right. So when he used to say that to me, I thought about it. I learned once that wisdom cannot be taught; it can only be gained.
Gained, yeah.
All right, and I didn't really understand that at first. I'm like,
right.
But here it is in a nutshell. You a little kid, and your mama tell you, don't put your hand in that fire on the stove because you're gonna burn yourself. Mm-hmm. Those who don't listen, those who listen do well. Those who don't catch all the hell.
Yeah.
So until you either get your finger close to that fire or know what it feel like, you know what I'm saying? Those words may not mean anything
don't
to
mean
you.
Anything.
You're gonna have to gain that experience in order to say. I mean, I have children, and at the end of the day, one of the things as a parent that I had to really learn was, sometimes I got to sit back and let my kids make mistakes.
Thank you. Please say that again.
I cannot micromanage their ass and, you need to do this and do it for them. No.
Facts.
Fuck that. Sometimes you got to make that mistake and then sit back and say, all right, baby girl, what'd you learn from that?
Exactly.
How do you feel right now about the decision that you made?
I agree.
And by the way, I'm proud of you because at the end of the day, you made that call, not me.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? And that's
Good
what life
decision on
all
your
about.
part.
You're going to have to either make the call, and whether it be good or bad, just know I'm going to be here to support you, but that's how life works.
And look, I know I don't want to get too sidetracked on the wrong subject because I know we ain't really talking about this, but going back to what you just said, Don, like, it's a lot of All right, so look, I don't want to get badgered by a bunch of feminists and shit, but it's a lot of single women who raise their sons like that, and unfortunately, those sons turn into, you know what they turn into?
Bands, bitch ass niggas. Bands.
They do like it's so like it's a lot of coddling going on, and then like dudes get to be adults and they want to continue to be coddled, or maybe they don't even know how not to be coddled. Like I don't even know what the situation is, but it's a lot of women. And I say single women only because, like, I use that as an example because they don't have a father in their lives. But it's just like these dudes never learn how to like basically take risks. Like taking risks is a thing that you do as a man. Like you take risks. Sometimes it's at your own expense. Sometimes, unfortunately, it's at your partner or your family's expense. I mean, it's just real.
No,
though.
you're right.
But like as a man, you got to be comfortable with making those decisions, right or wrong.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like simple as that.
But I don't even want to say it's a man or a woman. I mean, a man thing. Women have to take risks too.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking about.
From your perspective,
I'm talking about bands, like my dog said. I'm talking about bands.
From single fathers or houses with the father.
Potentially.
Yeah, potentially.
Talking to your mic.
Yeah, potentially.
This time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen man come from a two parent household as well.
It can come from a 2-parent household, but I'm kind of just speaking on the relationship between the mother and the son.
But it still comes from the mother coddling that boy.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases, because I'd be like this. I was the only child, right? And in my younger years, you could tell I was the only child. But when I got older, people like, how many brothers and sisters you got? I'd be like, I got them, but I never been around them really. You feel me? But my mother gave me so much game when I was younger. She told me one thing that was probably stick with me to this day. Nobody would never love you like me. And when my mother told me that, I didn't get it until after she passed, and months passed, and all my aunties became like my cousins. You know what I mean? Baby, just call me if you need me. And then that shit dwindled down. Like,
Exactly.
To Petey, what you want? you know
Right.
what I mean? So I was like, oh, hell no, I'm not going to do that. And my mother used to always say, don't let nobody talk to you any kind of way.
Yeah.
No matter who they are. Even your aunties, you can still talk to your aunties. Your aunties still have to treat you with respect. And your uncles got to treat you with respect. And that's what I stayed on. That's why to this day, I still never drank in front of my aunties. Because I had respect for them like I had respect for my mother. So.
Now and just like you mentioned this before, like a whole bunch of episodes ago, you was talking about how like you had took the bus. Oh no, you didn't take the bus home because you was too. You was too in a rush to wait on the bus, and she noticed that because she obviously seen that you got splashed by the water of the bus.
I had shit all down my face.
But y'all had that conversation, and she didn't coddle you with that though.
No.
She knew that you was making a decision on your own, and even though it was a knucklehead decision, like she let you make that decision, and that's the only thing I'm saying about. Some single mothers, I'm sorry, but then I was like, she like, nigga, no, you didn't say it. Well, some mothers, I just say mothers in general because they don't allow their sons to make those decisions on their own until it's too late, and they really making them goofy ass decisions that's costing everybody life and their livelihood and everything else. You know what I'm saying? Like if you get them some kind of decision making skills early on, then possibly their decision making skills will be a little bit better when they become adults. I mean, I'm just talking shit because I ain't got no kids. But
No, but it's funny because what you're talking about was in chapter 1, and we talk about a lot of habits that we form come from our guardians,
The
our
creatures
parents.
of habit too.
Yeah, and they come from
sure.
people we raised, our parents, our guardians. So you were right on track, but getting off track. But you know what I'm saying? I know them, but you were right on track. And I see that lots of times. I used to call it generational mindset. And I can look at a family, and the conversation was the same. The decision making, the way to handle stressful moments. If everybody was in a house screaming,
that's what they do.
That's the way
When
everybody
they get upset, everybody cussing. That's what they do.
Exactly.
Right? I used to go over people's house, they cuss and fuss, and I sit back, I'm like, man, but that was their norm, and who would they get that from?
Their mama, dad.
Yeah, no.
Thank you.
I wanted to just to kind of bring it back to where we were talking about focus. One of the things that came to my mind was, you take a shower, right? And some of the shower heads, they have a little nozzle on them where you can spread the water, all right, and it come out all nice and soft, or you can focus it in one hole. It come out one hole, and it's nice and it's hard. It give you like a massaging type effect.
Right.
Here's the deal: in life, when we have scattered energy, we don't hit shit that hard. You understand what I'm saying? Listen to me.
Right.
You running around, you doing everything. But when that shit is focused on one thing, boom, you able to really, you bring in that concentration to I remember working in absolutely. I remember working in I used to work for the auto show.
Okay.
And I would see, man, they had this machine. It was a water jet machine. This thing could cut through metal, cut through an engine.
Damn.
But it was water just focused in one spot.
Right.
And so that's the same thing with our mind and just, with the energy that we put out. Yeah. When we can just focus on one thing, and I've been really practicing that. This year I said to myself, I said, you know what? Again, let me find reasons to put my phone down more. Let me find reasons to look people in the face more and have a conversation.
Absolutely. No, I agree with
Let me find a reason to just sit and listen and don't do shit else while I'm talking to somebody. Because again, everybody now, multitasking is the norm.
Yes.
And man, that
shit
is rude.
It is bullshit.
That shit, you ain't focused. And a lot of times, listen, they say that activity doesn't amount to accomplishment. Just because you doing some shit don't mean you accomplishing some shit.
Facts.
No,
That's the truth,
and you know what? I get that because I was telling people before, they're like, "Marjorie always doing something." I said, "Listen, nigga, I'll be very honest with you. I'm the sprint guy, the one to take that baton the first time to pass it to somebody. I ain't the finisher. Now I get focused and go straight at it, right? But I'm gonna run out of gas very soon. I'll be like, look, take this motherfucker if y'all want to win this motherfucking race, you better take this bitch because I'm all out of gas. But the focus you talking about, that jet stream focus, I'm that all day in the beginning. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's not that I get bored. It's just that I ran out of gas. Mm-hmm. And then I ran out of momentum, and my point was not for me to finish, but to pass it along the baton to somebody in the team.
For sure, Miles.
Like,
you a quarterback, bro.
Yeah,
always have been. You the quarterback. You come through with the idea. You put motherfuckers in position. It's up to you. It's up to that person in position to make the play. Yeah, like you always been that dude, and I'm cool with that. Like I'm fine with that. And I in some terms, I'm like that too, because like some things I got a vision for, it just ain't mine. But I know who can do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you just said that because I think I'm the exact opposite.
Yeah.
I want to know what this is.
You want to carry it out.
I want to hear what's the idea, and then my brain gets to churning, and it's like, oh shit, let me. And A, B, and C onto it, and we go. And so I don't mind not being the quarterback.
And that's
you
dope.
understand what I'm saying?
And that's dope.
See, and that's why
I feel like that's one of my gifts. You know what I'm saying? Let me bring it on home. Let me get that shit last.
For sure.
I tell people a lot. In football, the least respected person is damn near the key point, and that's the center. Mm-hmm. Yep. The center. The name alone, center, tells it all.
Yeah, the balance.
Right? It brings balance, and also if the center don't get it to the quarterback, nothing get done.
Nothing happens.
So that goes back.
And if he don't keep him off the ass,
right?
Hold on, bro. I did some fancy shit. What is this? Am I supposed to drink?
Flip that shit in there.
Yeah.
It's either you can put it in your drink or shoot it. One or two. It's tequila.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I got you. Okay.
So, in case y'all don't know what we're talking about, we got Medina made some beautiful drinks for us right here.
Medina, shout yourself out.
This is fancy.
Whatever you want to say.
Oh, hey everybody! I'm Medina from Tonkico. Functional mixologist.
Shit strong.
Let me put this. I need some fruity in my.
So getting back.
Can you hear me now? Okay,
A little bit better.
So, go ahead, Medina. What's the name of this drink?
The name of
There
the
we
drink
go.
is Tingleberry.
Tingleberry. Wow.
See,
I don't know if you can step up to the bar. Hey, man,
Tingling,
give me a
baby.
Tingleberry.
Right, baby.
I
trying to send your girl to go order
Yeah,
that
go
one.
get that for me. Give me a
Get that
This shit don't
Tingleberry.
sound masculine.
Yeah, right.
At all.
Hold on, let me see if I can know. Hey, can I get let me get Tingleberry.
I'm gonna call it a T-berry. Let me get a T-berry.
a tea-berry.
Let me get a T-berry.
We gonna call this a tea-berry.
You gotta play it off. You like, let's see what you
Yeah, Tingleberry. Right.
really has nothing but color.
So I'm glad they ain't called Dinkleberry because I don't think
That'd have been worse.
It'd have been worse. Go ahead.
I stay on purpose, right?
Right.
So, being focused. And my wife talk about it sometimes, like staying in your lane, right? So we all talking about quarterback and you like adding on to it. And I don't think anything is wrong with it. If you know your purpose, stay in your lane, that's where you function well, do it by all means.
And do the hell out of it.
Get the hell out of it because, really, I agree with you 100% on that one. So I'm talking about the focus. It just brings me back into purpose.
Right.
Yeah, all day.
This whole thing.
Yeah, you got to understand what your purpose is. Like, I'm good. Like, let's just, if we using the track terminology, I know he the lead off man. Like, I like to be in the middle. Like, I can get us into position, then I'm going to let my dog finish on the end. I'm going to hand it off to the anchor. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
I'm a finisher.
Oh, you the finisher?
You the finisher too?
Well, you can take that a lot of ways.
I like to tighten it up at the end.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
I'm a
exciting.
procrastinator, yeah.
So you like
I
exciting.
like the excitement, yeah.
Okay,
I like
that's
the,
what it is,
Let's
right?
get this done. And then
Oh.
it comes out perfect, and you're like, damn, I did that.
Right. My wife be like, why you wait till the last minute?
Right.
I don't know. It's like with these menus sometimes. It just hit me, then boom, and I'm gone.
Man,
with it, right?
hey,
So-
however you be doing this, it's working. So don't change it, shit. Huh?
Okay, we got
you
some,
heard that, Bay? You heard that, Bay?
we got some people online. For those who listen to us, please give us a call 313-225
248.
Too much Tingleberry. Too much Tingleberry.
Too much T-berry. We call it
Right,
T-berry.
T-berry.
Well,
T-berry.
T-berry could be T-bag berry. Anyway,
We gonna call it T-Bizzle.
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 248-854-9850. Give us
That
a
nigga
call.
said 313. I don't know what the hell.
I was giving out my damn phone number.
Evidently. Right.
Anyway.
Think you at the club.
So, and the club is going down. So we're going to see what the people are saying because they, I guess they tripping because, oh, shit, okay.
What happened?
Okay, yeah, okay.
We got some shit going on.
One of your people.
A lot of our people. Kimani Goodwin says, friends and people in your circle that hold you accountable is
Yes.
one of the most valuable things, and accepting the lessons you're being taught helps you battle your fears. Definitely.
Yeah.
Something I'm learning as we speak. So I like to say this. I reached out to a couple people I know to be my accountability partners. Fred, you've been my accountability partner with my food, with my intake of my food, right?
Yes.
Tanja been my accountability partner on my literary arts. You
Shout
feel
out
me?
to Tanja.
Because it's like sometimes you need people to say, "Hey, you get that done," and I'll be like, "No." So on my deadline
I'd be
days,
like, no.
no, I'll be honest with you. I tell the truth. So on my deadline days, Tanja will call me like or email me like, "It's Friday. Show me." You know what I mean?
Need that. You need that. And I'm that for so many people. I need it for myself too, though.
That's what's up. I think everybody needs it. Shout out to Remedy. Carmen Evans say, y'all speaking good.
Speaking
Speaking. And Tanya Brown say, facts. Forced but not broken. Awaken truly. And finding my way back to me. I miss her. That's dope. So then that's
sure.
another thing. A person who can admit that they're lost.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's
that
important.
humbling spirit.
Yeah, some people ain't admitting
how
because they don't realize it yet.
That's
Humble
true, too.
yourself in order to move forward. You do.
Break yourself, fool.
Break
if your ass
yourself,
lost
fool.
and you broken, admit it and get over it.
You know what I want y'all to do real quick though? This is a very quick segment. I want somebody to put a camera on Miss Fifi nails. Them motherfuckers is doing work right now and shit.
Can't stand you.
Can you put the camera on her nails right quick?
No.
Hey, Miles, what's the number again?
248-854-9850.
First she come through the mate, now she got the
854-9850.
9850, yes. And this Tinkleberry is tenderizing my
Tinkleberry.
turloins.
So
turloins. Hey, so do we got a quote from the book?
Yeah.
I know.
I don't know what the fuck this shit talking about.
Miles, in this,
You threw everything off. I don't know what's happening.
You never mess with your turloins?
Oh god. Yeah, I know.
right, in this,
But get that shit checked out.
so in this chapter 1 focus,
Right.
what stood out the most to you, Miles?
Oh shit! Just talking about. I love the Jay-Z lyric that I quoted. He said, "Super Bowl goals, wifey in the crib, feeding my kids liquid gold. We in a whole different mode." He was setting us. He was giving us a picture. Like, I don't understand why y'all been bullshitting with your life when we have the same 1440, meaning 1,440 minutes out of every day. Everybody had the exact same. And if you bullshitting, it would show. You feel me? And Jay-Z said, listen, my wife is feeding my children her milk from her own body to nourish our family. You feel me? And we had Super Bowl goals. Like when you talking about being in the Super Bowl, you a champion.
Yeah, it's the pinnacle. Yeah,
You done
for sure.
champion. You done champion some shit. So with that's what I chose. I lyrics to say that when you focus, it ain't nobody should be on your level. Like somebody told me earlier today when brainstorming my show brainstorming with Miles Dixon, she said, "Well, you forgot that thing about competition." When I started graphic design work, I didn't look at nobody as competition because every time I was out, nobody was where I was at.
Right.
Absolutely.
And Jay-Z said another line, when I'm there, you ain't never there. You know what I mean? So you can't be like I am because I don't see you know where I am at.
No, that's definitely a marketing thing because I was talking to one of my homies. We was doing some marketing for some ideas we got coming up, and that was one of my questions. Was like, shouldn't I be trying to figure out what the competition doing? And he was like, nah, like you shouldn't really be even focused on the competition. You can see like what's going on in the market or whatever, but like to actually focus on some actual competition, he said that wasn't the right thing to do. So you're the second person who's in marketing who said that. So obviously there must be some truth to it.
It's a lot of truth. It's just like if you when people got to be in line to competition to be with a woman. You know what I mean? You have to be so extraordinary to where that woman ain't even thinking about them other people.
Right. So it ain't really no competition.
No,
Right. For sure.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, what stuck out with you on the chapter? You know, I wrote it, so a lot of shit stuck out. So
Everything in that motherfucker stuck out.
right, everything stuck out to me. So what stuck out to you?
The influence that starting from home,
Oh yeah, my mom.
siblings, your parents.
Yeah.
That stuck out a lot to me. And some were positive. Other ones throughout life you have to learn how to break
Yeah.
Yeah.
and release because that was your world. You know,
Yeah.
that's like somebody telling you the sky was brown. If everybody in your house said it was brown, it's just brown, right?
Yeah.
Just roll
so
with
now
it,
you
yeah.
have to convince yourself years in the past that it's actually blue. So when I read it, just the influence that siblings and your decision making, how it comes from your parents, how they handle things, that just stood out to me because I said, okay, being focused, right, come from making, to me, good decisions. When you're making some wrong decisions, it brings controversy, which will break your focus because you have to take time to handle that. Now, that bad decision you made, now you have to take out time to make that right. And then that will break your focus, your concentration on where you focus on. So just the part about the influence with the people around us that we come up with, that's a large thing. That's what happens in our community.
I took my medicine.
I mean, when you looking at that, like I just always got questions about shit like this. So like when you talking about how you just mentioned about things you got from basically your household or your parents, how do you even decide or when do you come to the understanding that the way they were doing things was fucked up? You know what I'm saying?
It took me a while.
Yeah.
Question.
Cause like you don't know it's fucked up because you lived in that controlled chaos like the whole time. So you thinking it's normal, but like how do you figure out like yo this shit ain't normal?
Well, I'll go back what Don said. I got to a point where I had to start listening to people.
Yeah.
And I had to start listening to other conversations and just say, I'm going to sit here and listen in this moment, right? So I had to come out of off the block, right? People sit on the block. So I had to start meeting new people, having new conversations to see, something different about this.
Yeah.
What I learned, right? So I had to, and I love talking to people. I had my wife had interviewed me once, and I said I love talking with people because when I walk away, I learn something, right? And to be honest with you, I kind of learned the flaws in the way I was raised. And things that I heard, I'm like, wow, man, we were just preaching this in the house.
Yeah,
exactly.
This whole other world out here, really?
It's a whole new world.
Yes.
I think
How did I know you was gonna sing that?
just to kind of add to that too, one of the points that you brought up in the book too, Miles, and in that beginning, a lot of times children look at their parents as their superheroes.
Absolutely.
When you're young, you don't realize, mama fucked up, and
Right, exactly,
daddy's stubborn than the motherfucker. You don't know how to apologize. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And for me, very similar, and I think for all of us, this kind of shit just add to a lot of childhood traumas that it take us really a long time to
Heal from.
have to heal from and process as we become adults, and wondering why some of our relationships aren't working. We're wondering why we're not prospering in our endeavors. I was looking at something the other day that said, the mind can say one thing, but the body don't lie. So you might can say to somebody, yo, I don't give a fuck about you no more. But if you in that person's presence, and they can cause you to become angry, upset, disappointed, something going on.
Something going on here. You lying.
And so I always tell my kids, use your emotions to adjust your thinking.
That's
You
a good
understand
one.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Meaning this, when a person gets angry, instead of using your emotions and now all of a sudden you match your thoughts to that specific emotion, use that emotion to ask yourself the question, why am I feeling this way? Why is this person making me feel this way? Now you can adjust your thinking. Well, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm being judgmental right now. Maybe I need to make sure that I'm not feeling insecure around this person.
Right.
And so, for me, the shit that I've been learning, I've been trying to pass down to them because I'm like, nobody explained
Quicker.
this shit to me when
Nobody.
I was a
Yeah,
kid.
right.
And then, like you just said, Q, or like you said earlier, then as a man, you find yourself growing up in a world where another man say something to you, and now you feeling as though your masculinity is challenged.
Facts.
When at the end of the day, as long as you know where you stand, nobody can ever offend you.
Exactly.
We need to be taught these kind of things. And I just wanted to say, we have to teach people the value of what focus is.
Yeah.
You understand? It's one thing to say, oh man, I'm focused on this.
Yeah.
But people have to see ROI on shit.
Yeah.
Return
What
on
is the
investment.
value of being focused?
Facts.
I meet a lot of people, oh man, ask me all the time, how do you get in this? How do you get in movies? How do you get in plays? Man, sometimes you got to sit your ass down and get focused and say to yourself, hey, listen, I want to do this.
Right.
And you don't see shit else but that.
Right.
You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? I'm going to go somewhere and work for free. I'm going to go somewhere and sit around and watch. That shit requires focus sometimes because I done
Hell
met
yeah.
people that say they want to do shit and then they get there and like Snoop say, they sitting there fraternizing with everybody. I ain't come to fraternize with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
I used to have people tell me all the time, oh, you look mean. You not approachable. Man, I didn't
to
come
work.
here to fraternize with you.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
and I'm dead fucking serious.
I watched Don tell somebody, said, man, I'm going on my fucking lines. I'm busy. And I thought he was. I didn't think he was being mean, but I just understand how sometimes people and I want to say the enemy, but sometimes people be put in your life so you can stay on focus, so you learn, so you know what distraction looks like.
You know what?
Because it been some shit in my life. I was like, oh no, that's distraction. My man, Capri, remember Capri?
Yeah.
Okay, he said whatever attracts you distracts you. Whatever you're attracted to gonna distract you.
That's my dog, though.
Wow,
So,
wow,
yeah,
wow. That's deep.
shout out to my man.
I
Capri.
mean, shout out to him. Sean P also said Vince McMahon never promote. He only thought and only talked about his wrestling promotions.
Yeah.
He never talked about nothing else. Because my mentor one time said, if people think they can multitask, they're a damn lie or they're stupid.
Yeah.
Wow.
I hate multitasking is the fucking devil. I tell my kids that shit
Yes.
now all the time. Because sometimes I'm talking to them, and they, yeah, okay, Dad, Hey, put that shit down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, put that shit down, and sometime again, get focused on what you're doing.
Yeah.
Get focused on the moment. You know what I'm saying?
Medina, what you got to say? Your face boiling over. What you got to
Kids
say?
haven't acquired the skills to multitask. They don't even know how.
They think they do shit.
Well, grown adults can't do it.
Most of them can.
And most
Right.
can't, because my mentor basically said this. He said, Miles, you think you can multitask? I'm like, shit, yeah, I get a lot done, right? He said, walking,
two different things, huh?
He said, walk in two different directions at one time. Go. And I'm sitting there looking stupid. He said, exactly. That's how all your work look like.
So let me ask.
I mean, because that's how he broke it down. That's how all your work. It's just
Accountability
there.
partner for your ass right there.
So let me ask the room this. So let me ask two questions. Where did multitasking come from, and why do we feel like it's so acceptable?
White people.
What?
White people say.
Think so?
Yes.
So why do we think it's so? Because we
I don't know
feel.
about that
We
one.
came up with
I
that
think
one.
black people came up with that one.
No.
Yeah, you know who really came up with that, and we will sometimes brag about multitasking.
Yeah, I think we came up with that because we wear so many hats.
Delegating tasks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, but
understand what I'm saying?
multitasking. But listen to the word tasking, right? Multitasking. That means you completing some shit you don't complete nothing. You just putting more attention onto another thing, and then the shit you first started still ain't done.
Hey,
That's not really
activity don't amount to accomplishment.
We attach the title to multitasking when they're not really doing nothing. You
Right.
gotta change your vernacular.
Right.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's not
Wrong
what I'm saying?
terminology.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
You said
totally
what?
agree.
I ain't hear you. I'm sorry.
He said it's not really
Like, the
multitask.
things that we attach multitasking to, it's not multitasking because they're not getting anything done.
Yeah.
This nigga got Megan Stallion knees. I can't
No,
do
I
that.
was thinking it in my head, dog. I was like, I'm not gonna say this nigga knees strong as a motherfucker.
Because he ain't no little person.
No. I felt my knees cracking when he got down there, dog.
Yeah.
I felt my shit cracking. I ain't
Let
even
him
moving.
finish so hopefully he can get back up. Finish talking.
Y'all mess, man.
Yeah, no, I think people gotta change their vernacular. You know what I'm saying? What we attach a label to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what we consider multitasking is really not, because they're not getting anything done.
I totally
Yeah, I
agree with
see
you.
that a lot and stuff. So
Yeah, but I really think I think multitasking. I mean, there's no really real way to pinpoint where it started.
Yeah.
I feel like it started. This takes it real deep, but I think it got started with
Slavery.
Absolutely.
before slavery.
Yeah.
It got started
before.
before slavery.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? This for even the people that's like, Bible thumpers and they heavily into religion. This started like from the beginning of creation.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And they put women in certain roles to do the things that men didn't want to do. That's where multitasking.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. I can see that.
They did all the things in the home that the man wasn't doing.
I can
So
see
do you
He
that.
had
think-
one singular role, and then the woman was responsible for
Everything.
Everything else.
bringing everything else in the home together.
I can see
I
that.
think that's where multitasking came from.
Well,
now, something just came to me.
would
so
it be multi-rolling? Like
Multi-
being in multi-roles?
Well,
Like being like take for instance the lioness, she's the hunter, right? She's the one who feeds the children, right?
yeah.
And during the process while the lioness is doing that, the lion is patrolling the area so nothing can attack them while they're at the most vulnerable moment.
Yeah.
To say multi-roles, that would mean that we actually have a role to play.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Cute.
Oh shit, Medina. I know where you're going, and I talked about. I talked about this the other day.
Hey, look,
I
look,
think-
go ahead,
I
look
think-
at yeah.
I talked about this the other day. I don't want to sound sexist or nothing.
Yeah,
But I do think that in order for us to prosper, there does need to be some sort of gender roles. I think that shit is necessary, and I think that
I 1,000% agree.
I just
I
think it
already knew
is.
Don was about to sign.
Hell yeah, I just think it is.
1,000%
And most women do not agree with that shit, but
They don't have to.
Because
Or
most of the
shoveling
time
the
we
snow.
No, but it is some
those
things
lines
that
always
women are
crossed
naturally
because we have
better
to
at.
listen.
Hold on.
they're blurred a little.
Fred, hold on. Talking to the mic,
I'm
Medina.
not talking into the mic.
There you
No,
go. There you
there
go.
you
You, got it. You good as long as you aim it at you straight.
Oh,
Pull it back to you some more.
Okay.
Yep.
Right. All right.
Chill out. Chill out. Chef. Chill out. Chef. But the way you laugh though. The way you
Go
laugh.
ahead, Medina. You were saying something.
Well, I was just saying that, to give somebody a role is just especially with mothers, that role, those lines are always crossed and always blurry and just
Yeah.
never, black and white. So that's why I was asking you to say that. Say, what's our role?
I mean,
I don't
to
think
be a
they
mother.
blurred. I don't think they blurred.
Be a
I
mother.
think again, necessity is the mother of invention. And if a mother is in a home and there is no man, then again, she's going to
Do what's necessary.
yeah, do what's absolutely do what's
yeah.
necessary.
Oh,
But let me just say this in terms of roles. I do personally believe, again, men and women, we different, we wired different. A lot of I believe that men are wired to be problem solvers. Not saying that women aren't, and I believe that women are wired to be very nurturing. And again, it's a reason for all this. I think a lot of
Yeah.
times when we start having these conversations, women get into this thing where it's just like I can do what a man can do. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, again, we wired different. Our bodies built
Supposed
different.
to
You
be
get what I'm
different.
saying? It's a reason for
Supposed
that
to
kind
be
of
different.
shit.
Yes.
And I think that
No sheetrock. Right. Break my nails.
I think sometimes women get into this, like you said, this whole feminist thing.
Yeah.
Listen. I know someone who the first book that they bought for their child was, My Little Feminist book. And it was for a little boy. And I was infuriated about this shit.
Hello?
All right, now listen to me. So I said to her, I asked the question, I said, why does he need this book? And she said to me, I don't want to mention what profession she in, but very corporate, top high earning individuals. She said to me, well, there's just too many men in this world that don't believe that women are equal. So I want him to learn at a very early age that, you know what I'm saying, men and women are equal in this regard. So I said, why can't he learn from learning how to be a man, you know what I'm saying, about how to treat women? Why does he have to learn to be a feminist to learn how to treat a woman as opposed to learning how to be a man? Well, men don't know how to do it. And I said, well, again, you believe what you're saying, so I don't want to argue with you about it. But I thought it was some bullshit at the end of the day. Just some stupid bullshit.
I think so.
You can say that right now. That's some bullshit.
That is exactly why males think that it's okay to punch girls in the face nowadays. Like these younger guys, they fight girls.
Yeah, I seen.
Oh yeah,
That's
they fight.
Why? Because they telling them that they equal and stuff like that. Before our generation, we was taught that
you take care of this woman.
Yeah, don't hit girls.
But not only that,
Yeah, but you also the women think they can just hit men.
Believe that they're equal to the boys. So I see a lot of girls bossing up.
Yes,
Dog, super bossing up.
They walk up on dudes now.
But again, in our earlier weeks of conversation, this has been a plan for Black America, Black men to witness, right? Now, everybody know homosexual men are trying to get into women's sports, right?
Bro, and that right there.
And that's totally like
fucking insane.
Disrespectful.
That's disrespectful to women.
Exactly.
Train their whole life and then they gotta go against a dude.
But don't get me wrong, you have famous white men that would do it right. But a lot of homosexual transgender are black. Right, who's trying to go into women's sports? So that's just another form of demasculating black men in America.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no. That's I'm sensitive about that kind of shit because again, when you look at the destruction of the black family. Period. At the end of the day. Man, listen, I had this guy, he was in his late 80s when I was in high school, and he walked up to me one day, and we having a conversation, he picking my brain, and he said, listen to me. He said, do you want to know the fastest way to destroy a nation, destroy a culture? He said, reverse the roles and see what happened, right? I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, when women start playing the position of the man, it's going to be strife in the household. And when men start acting like women, it's going to be strife in the household.
Absolutely.
Think about what's going on right now in our day, where I hear a lot of women say, well, I got to make this decision because such and such won't step up. You know what I'm saying? And be the dad or the father or the man of the household, or I can't follow his lead and this and that. And then you have a lot of men, sadly to say, that run from responsibility and accountability, which you spoke to earlier. Part of our fucking journey.
They look for that woman to do that.
To coddle their ass. Part of our journey as a man, one of my favorite books, The Alchemist. I love that book.
That's my shit.
All right? He goes on this fucking journey, and he's asking these questions that at the end of the day, he already have the answers inside of him.
Right, exactly. Only to come back to the very same place that he started. For sure, yeah.
But again, he don't realize that. But as a man, we got to go through that journey. You got to go through the experiences, that journey. And man, I cannot stand when them roles get reversed. I'm so old school, man. When my mom come to town, she'll say, oh, I'm about to drive. No, you're not.
Yeah.
I'm a man. You get your ass in the passenger seat. I'm driving. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't stand to see that nowadays where I'll see a little couple pull up at the gas station. The girl get out. She driving. Dog. She getting the gas.
She pumping gas.
Going in the gas
right
station.
There.
What the fuck are you doing?
Not that part.
It just blows my mind.
Unless you fucking cripple.
Yeah,
there's no reason you should be sitting in this motherfucker and let her pumping gas if you in there.
I was listening to her.
Gas, but I'll drive.
Hey, you can drive, but if I'm in there with you and we pull up to the gas station, what the fuck do I look like letting you hop out and go get the gas?
Yeah.
Well, unless you're having a gout attack.
That's what I said. Unless you cripple. I said unless you cripple.
Gout attack.
Crawl in that gas station.
Unless you cripple.
I was listening to some a couple weeks ago and then earlier yesterday, and it was about marriage, and it's about husbands, bulletproof husband. And he said, so
Lord, yeah, there you go.
what he said was, he said, never compromise yourself as a man, even if you think it's going to break the marriage.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I agree with that.
And I have to think about that.
Every man don't know what that means, though. Some men be
They
trying
never
to stand
compromise.
up for something that's
Yeah,
not
because you're
even
trying to be a gentleman, you're
worth
trying to
standing
be
up.
thoughtful, but you compromise
That's true.
yourself along
And
the
you,
way.
and you compromise yourself to a point to where that's not you being yourself.
That's right.
So when you being met with the fake you gonna have a fake ass conversation with whoever you with.
That's where the frustration come from. That's everything.
Shit. I
So
tell you,
I agree with you 100% on that. A lot of women may not want to hear that.
Of course
but
they
they don't
don't.
want no watered down version of a man.
sometimes they do.
Some really
sometimes
don't.
they do.
Sometimes
Because some
they-
women got more masculine energy.
Yes.
They got a little bit more testosterone
Yeah.
than men.
Yes.
And here's the deal. In life,
And they
I
like
had-
that position.
They love that.
They love that position,
I had to learn that. You know how they say opposites attract? There are some men on this earth that want to be with a woman who has more masculine energy than him.
Then they do.
Facts.
I'm sorry, ladies, I'm not that guy. You get
I'm
what I'm
not that
saying?
guy.
Like,
They out here.
I ain't that guy.
And I do put it like this, like I tell people, I hate when people who used to work for me used to call me boss, right? That irritates my soul. I said boss, the word boss is like saying dictator. You know what I mean?
Facts.
I'm more of a leader. I let you do what you need to do. And
Point you
then
in the right direction.
Point you in the right direction. And if you have some problems, I pick up that stick with you and still make it happen, right?
Absolutely.
A boss don't do that. A boss say, okay, get your ass out of fire. You next.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's why I hate when women say, I'm a boss bitch. They're just showing me you a lost bitch at the end of the day.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I'm just being honest with you.
She put the applause on that one.
Because it's just the truth. Because to be bossy, I think, and another again, the terminology, right? I think people took the wrong terminology and added shit on it, and it made it so screwed up.
Back to what Dog was saying about vernacular.
Yeah,
Man,
Most
it's real.
Hey, but I just want to comment on that shit though about the motherfucker at the gas station though. Let his woman pump gas. Look, I'm just saying, like, it's a woman that I know right now. No bullshit. With some funny shit, like she cut the grass, she does the plumbing, all this shit. She got a whole plumbing? Bro,
What
the
the
plumbing.
fuck?
She changing pipes and shit. She got wait a minute, but she got a whole nigga at the crib.
But you said she changing pipes, so she got probably more than one nigga. Period.
I mean, evidently, I don't
Sheesh.
used to
Tony
that.
got a pipe.
But it's like I was super surprised though. So then like one day I think like something needed to be done with the fuse box or something. So she was saying something about it. I was like, dog, so you should probably get Dog to do that shit. She like, no, she gonna do it herself. I'm just like, dog, that's a fucked up kind of life you live.
Now listen, I do want to say this because don't get it twisted. For any woman out there that
You should know how to do those things.
Let's say this: if
You can know how to do
you
them.
are blessed to have that talent,
That's
to be
cool.
able to do those things, great. But I guess what I'm speaking to is the fact that there are a lot of men that's fucking lazy about certain shit,
And just
they
allowing her
don't
to
want to
do that.
step up. Yeah, they don't want to step up to the plate of yo, fuck that. I'm a man. Go chill, do you know what I'm saying? You do something else. Let me take care of that. And I'm saying that I say all that to say that again. Nowadays, because a lot of men lack focus, that's why we have so many different issues. And when I say by lack focus, I'm saying like get to the point where you focused on self to the point where you don't need to have that woman taking care of you and complimenting you all the time just to feel validated as a man. In other words, I'm not speaking to no women about this. I'm talking about men specifically because a lot of times we always hear about women having insecurities and you know vulnerabilities and shit like that. But at the end of the day, the truth of the matter is, it's a lot of fucking men out here that's insecure bastards. As Dolomite used to say, you insecure rat bastard motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And listen, if you get focused on your life in a way that you can, you know what I'm saying, get past those things, outgrow those insecurities, and stop masking it with this, I'm a masculine man. No, the fuck you not.
Yeah,
Get focused on your
overcompensating.
life to the point where you're able to, get into this situation where maybe you have to take care of this child. Maybe you have to take care of this
She just
household.
swung
Take
the mic
care of this
around.
damn, you want to step up to the plate and be an entrepreneur. All these kind of things. It all requires focus.
Yes.
And focus on self
Yes.
and not nobody else.
Yeah.
It's true.
My mother used to always tell me, like, why you so worried about somebody else? Didn't I tell you to do that? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, we you know what I mean? I was like, the teacher called me cheating one day. She's like, "Mom, you supposed to stay focused." I was like, I was focused on his
on that
paper.
paper, yeah.
on my man shit.
But at the same time, as I grew up, my mother used to say, "Why are you focusing on somebody else's paper? Like, why are you worried about what somebody else got?" And it made
Absolutely.
sense to me. So I never wrote any trail that I went down, any path I went down. I swear to God, I wasn't thinking about nobody else. I was just thinking about,
We could tell.
shut your ass up. I mean, I wasn't thinking about what nobody else is doing.
Right. I feel what you're saying.
Thank you for having a reasonable mind.
I dig what
Thank
you're saying.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So,
Shut up.
Yeah, she got her Matte on. She want to say anything.
anything.
Hey, stick to your role.
We right.
Stand you.
Stick to your Matte role.
So
goddamn it.
getting all this good information.
Matte is the word. I don't care what y'all say.
Because it's all about, building.
Yeah, correct.
community. If you are listening to this, you're a man or you're a woman, take your pride out of it.
Ooh.
Man, we have to step up. If
Yeah.
one needs to step up, if you're a woman, maybe you just sit down.
Yeah, you gotta say it like it is,
Yeah,
Chef.
you got to sit down. You
you
got to
got-
sit down sometimes because you handicapping your sons,
Yeah.
your husbands,
Yeah.
people in your life, just to say, "Hey, I'm strong. I can do this myself." Sure, you can. But we talked about this last week. Would you rather be a princess or a queen?
Yeah.
So sit back and be a princess and let this man be a king.
So I just want to say one thing.
There ain't
It may
gonna be
it may
one.
turn
No,
in, look,
you-
it's gonna
you-
turn into being four, but
No,
I'm
you
just saying
can't
I'm gonna
say
say
that
it
one
fast.
thing.
Right.
So
No, sit down somewhere. So like I was saying, no, I'm messing with you. I'm just gotta get my practice up like it's anyway.
Shut up and eat your shrimp.
You got another piece of bread,
Right.
No, go ahead. I'm messing with you.
You know he messing with you because he the one who say he still got a crush on his wife.
I
That's
do
still
got
some
a
of the
crush on my
sexiest shit I've ever heard in my life.
shut up, Miles.
Classic. That's classic.
So no, seriously, like I know I said before that a lot of times we don't know how to. First of all, the men have been, and I don't mean this in an offensive way at all, but men have been extinct in a lot of our culture's households.
Wow.
Yes.
So when we get grown, we don't know what the hell we looking at if we was not raised around a man to understand the characteristics, how a man move, or nothing like that. You know what I'm
Attributes,
saying?
correct.
And this is I'm saying this as a genderless statement because young boys they didn't see a man when they was coming up. They saw Big Mama, so that's why the woman can tell them what to do because a woman has always told them what to do.
Facts.
So they've always took their guidance from a woman, their leadership from a woman, and things like that. So it's like. When you give them the role, like here's this role, you know what I'm saying, as being a man in a household, they don't know what the hell to do with it because that's like giving somebody that never drove a Bugatti.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like,
That's a good point. That's a great point.
not only are the gears different, but you started up different and everything else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they don't know nothing about it. This is not even basic. This is not
Right.
even a basic position you giving them because they've never had to even be in it.
Right.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
said so. Okay.
No, that's a great point.
So I just feel like first, like I think the first thing we need to do is understand that there is a difference in our gender. Like, you know what I mean? Because people don't even acknowledge that. And I think the more
Shit, they trying to erase it.
I was just about to say that, like while we are moving more into being conscious, the underlying action is them taking the whole thing of gender separation away. So it's like we on the top trying to fight, like, hey, we men and we women, you got to roll, I got to roll. You know what I'm saying? Let's
Right.
do what we do. And at the bottom, it's like, no, it's they lying. Neither of them is roles. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So we already mixed up as it is. So to
Right.
come and put that in there while we trying to correct it,
It just make it more messy. And
So
listen,
are you saying that basically, like, because I'm getting this, that since we've been absent, right, The woman don't know what it looks like, so she rejects it.
I'm not gonna say she rejects it. It's
She
foreign.
try to create
It's just
No,
foreign.
listen what I'm saying.
She try to create her own.
If it is a real man, right, and he doing some real man stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and she's never seen it before, is it a possibility she will reject?
Oh yeah.
Because
Yeah,
she don't know how to
strong
recognize
one.
that.
Now,
Yeah,
listen, I'm not
I
going
feel
to say,
that.
I can't say yes or no. All I can say is that it's foreign. So you have to think about the background of that particular woman. Was she raised to be receptive? Was she raised to be coachable? Or was she raised to be defensive? You know
So
what
you
I'm
You got to
saying?
look
Was
at,
she-
you got to
She
look
might
at it this
reject
way.
it.
If anything enters the body and it's foreign, it's going to
Reject it, yeah.
right?
That's
so,
that's the aspect he was coming from.
That's where
Yeah.
I was coming from.
I dig
so
that.
it's foreign, so you're gonna reject it because you've never seen it before, right? I go a little step further. I've been to a lot of family reunions, right?
Right.
And one thing I always hear, I just hear a conversation about Big Mama. What Big Mama said, what Big Mama did, what I never hear nothing about what
Big
Pop-
Daddy, what Big
I don't
Daddy,
even know what Pop said. They call him Pops. What
Papa.
You always
Papa.
hear about what the values
And that's
that
my point.
Big Mama said, this, that, and the other. But you never hear anything about the
Oh, yeah.
man, what he said, what he believed in.
Granddaddy's got
What he
lost
said,
last-
he
last
got
time.
lost.
With
So
it.
what happened to the values that he laid down?
With it.
And that's
So
the
that tells
point.
you a
That's-
lot about. So
The value that's placed on a man is what.
absolutely, that's what
you're
I'm
getting
trying to
at.
say. That's what I'm trying to
Here's-
say.
And I just want to piggyback off what you said. Children go off of what they see, not what we say.
for sure.
So
For sure.
it's a cycle definitely that's being repeated over and over. And I agree with you.
That's what I'm saying.
If I'm walking down the street and I tell this story all the time, and I see a green rock, and no one have ever taught me the value that, hey, look, that's an emerald. When you see a rock like that, that's an emerald. And it's
And it's
probably
worth
worth a
something.
lot of money.
Right.
Right.
When I walk past that rock, I might kick that shit into the street and don't
You
think
see
that's
what I'm
your
saying?
thing.
Yeah.
Don't think shit else about it.
Yeah.
Right.
I say that to say that women, to your point, may not be able to recognize what a man or be able to recognize true masculine energy because she ain't been taught the value of it.
Yeah.
And a lot of young men, same way. They
Yeah.
may always be respecting the fact that I need to let the woman make all the decisions and tell me what to do. Cause I ain't seen a man step up and,
Right.
and making these
Absolutely.
Ain't nobody
Absolutely.
never told my mama to sit
And
down.
that shit
You know what
is-
I'm saying?
Right.
Sit your
It's
ass
a
down.
lot of
You see what
men
I'm
out
saying?
here nowadays dating chicks like that where they getting their ass bossed around.
Yeah, so maybe the next show we kind of
Go in that direction.
yeah
About gender roles and shit like that.
Ass
I'm
woman,
tell-
ass whoopings. That's what it's gonna be called.
Shut up, crazy.
And we
Mama
just
said
talked
whoop your
about,
ass.
responsibility roles in a home, gender wise. You know how to recognize this because you may be rejecting something that you need
All day.
because it's foreign. Like I said, some enter the body. It's foreign. It's gonna reject it.
Yes.
Right. It's going and if it's not your belief system, it's not what you've seen. You're going to reject it. You're going to beat it down.
Right.
You're going to call it out to be something else.
Right.
Something else,
because
for sure.
you've never ever seen it.
That's the main thing. You go call it out to be something else,
You're
and
going
that's
to call it out to see something else.
that's what happened in a lot of. I know it's time to get up out of here. That's what happened in a lot of relationships. You got women just like how you were saying, Miss Fifi, about how they don't really have an actual idea of what a quote unquote real man is. But then you meet like a quote unquote real man, and then you trying to tell him how to be a man, and then y'all got friction off top.
Because they used to the male that they've been dealing with the penis.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, but
and-
off top
Like
though,
just
y'all
because
got.
he's a male and he has a penis does not mean he's a man.
Well, when
I'm
that-
just saying.
Yeah, he might be one
And a
of
lot
them
of women experience a lot of males with penises, and then when they finally get to a man, it's like, you know, maybe he was being a little bit more offensive or something, or he considered soft or something like that or whatever, because you was dealing with this disrespectful ass male with a penis.
I mean, I agree with you because, like,
Shit, how do
where
you
I
get
keep
past
my
that?
boat at and stuff, I see some guys and they was just like
What?
fooling, like.
Why you got to do all that?
But
Right.
the thing about it was, if you had that money, it's like, okay, so what happened? Women were taught to respect the money.
Money, yeah.
And not the
So
gentleman.
not the man.
Not
Yeah.
the man. And I've
Which
seen
is
that. I'm
sad.
like, dude,
Which is
women
sad.
like, whatever.
It's a lot of mothers
But-
teaching their daughter that too.
Yeah.
Respect
Right,
the
but if
money,
he
not
had-
the man.
If he had power, position, or money, they've learned how to respect that.
To submit
Laugh at
to
the
it.
corniest jokes. Just
Yeah.
that, you understand what I'm saying?
And slap your knee.
Yep. That right there, right? Because of the possibility of gang. Of gang.
I would say
Oh,
that.
we're gonna have a dog ass conversation next week.
I would say this. So I was with a woman, and her child's father used to always call me soft, right? You over there with that soft ass nigga, rapping ass soft ass nigga, right? And then she said, but it's funny that your son and daughter listen to him more than they listen to you.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That nigga, he had a fit, right? He said, what the fuck you mean, blah, 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 blah. And his child was like, come here. He ran to me and jumped up in my arms.
Yeah. Hey, I got a saying for that, Miles. The garden responds to the gardener and not the property owner.
You better know it.
You understand what I'm saying?
That man prolific.
So it's a reason for that.
Most definitely.
I hope you got a close up when he said that.
Yeah.
It's a reason for that.
It's a reason. Yeah, that's very true.
I don't ask for permission to be a man.
Yeah,
I just want
right.
to say that, you know,
Me neither, at all.
when
I love it.
I've had opportunities where I've dated women that had children, you know. I'm a firm believer in this. At the end of the day, if a man is in that household, that's his household. And as a man, I'm gonna respect that.
Right.
I don't get all off, and I know this is a touchy subject for people, but you know, you got these households where a woman is no longer with the father, and she's either married, engaged, or dating another man. They living with each other, and it's just like the man can't discipline the child. What kind of shit is that?
Yeah.
We fucking shit up doing that. Shit getting out of order.
That's your household.
This is the reason
That's your household.
why I used to tutor or mentor rather some of the ninth graders at Denby or Finney on the east side.
Ooh.
And this is the reason why you walk through the school. And the young boys don't respect. The teacher can say one thing to them, hey, quiet down, fuck you, bitch.
Oh.
Call my grandma. They just out of line because they don't respect it. And what I'm saying is, it's things like this that as men...
It take a man to come in there and say, what?
It take a man to come in there and say, hey, but listen, but it also, this go back to, and I hate when this phrase get used out of context. Oh, I just love hard. Fuck all of that. Love is love. And sometimes that love and hard get replaced with, no, fuck that, you stubborn. You hard fucking headed and you don't want to listen.
True.
Because at the end of the day, it's gonna take men to be man beget man. That's all I gotta say. You know, at the end of the day, a young boy instinctively know I'm not like you. That's why sometimes, you know, a child reaches a certain age and then he out of hand. He balling his fist up and raising up at the same woman that's been raising his ass.
Exactly.
Because he know, yes, I know you've been raising me, but I'm not no woman. Now you get confused. Instead of being taught some respect, being taught, hey, as a man, learn how to practice some restraint. Learn how to be like a mountain and don't allow bullshit to move you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Because when you react off emotions like that shit, you doing woman shit. I don't give a fuck how you look at it. You doing woman shit. When you react off of emotions, that's woman shit. And if you doing that, that's bitch shit. Like, I mean, no disrespect. I say bitch a lot. I'm sorry.
But
It's the man show.
but in our community,
Right, this is a man show.
we got
This the man show.
we got to turn that around. That got to be adjusted. That got to be adjusted.
What, that bitch shit?
You know, I ain't gonna.
He ain't gonna
my
say it.
daughter may be watching.
Oh, I'm sorry if your daughter watching.
I ain't got
But
no daughter.
no, seriously,
It's a bitch.
that got to be reversed. That got to be adjusted. See, that's the very one that your daughter may end up dating.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Facts.
That's that one on the west side. He gets beat
On the west
down,
side.
and you end up dating him on the east side, right? right.
You see
what
that?
I'm saying?
You see that?
From
So I
Pinkwood
agree with
Myers.
this. Not to be chauvinistic, but it is certain roles. It's and like Don said, we are different,
Yeah.
right? Don't get it confused. Don't label it as being abusive. Don't dictatorship.
And don't try to blur the
controlling.
lines.
None of that. None of that.
You don't need to be. By the way, just because we different don't mean that I expect for you as a woman to be subservient to me either.
Neither,
Because a
right.
lot of people take that shit out.
No,
of
they
context.
take it out of
That's
control.
big
So the
That's
minute
it
you,
right
and that's
there.
what I think you said it earlier. At the end of the day,
Google that.
sometimes when men talk about being men, the very first thing that pop in a woman's head is, "Oh, you want to control? You want me to be
Control.
beneath you?" That does
Absolutely.
not fucking mean that.
No,
Right.
I don't mean that.
That don't mean that, and we gotta stop. We gotta stop bringing that shit into the conversation right off the
That-
rip. This
yeah.
preconceived notion that's a bunch of bullshit. That's
For
that
sure.
old school shit that's outdated. It don't work no more.
And then I think a real man gonna have standards in his home.
Yeah, a real.
Not rules, standards. and then you're gonna come together with your wife, whoever, and you're gonna have your standards, right? So, what Western culture is taught us to compete against one another.
Western culture fucked us up.
Yeah, it is. You know, and people need to pay attention to that, right? Some of the smartest people are tearing their own homes down with their own hands.
Yeah.
A lot of options and a lot of choices too. My homeboy once told me that in countries where they have these prearranged marriages, they have a lower divorce rate.
Right, yeah.
I read once in Italy where for every 100 couples that got married, only one of those couples will get divorced. That's a fucking 1% out of. You get what I'm saying? Now, go fast
Did
forward.
you just snorkel, nigga? Hold on, this nigga just snorkel.
I didn't snorkel, but
I did because I didn't fuck with no
Fast
red
forward to
man. I
over
see what
here.
you're saying though.
What is the divorce
That
rate
might be
right
more
now?
of a commitment thing.
Yeah, I
A
mean,
commitment, man. Listen, it's all the same.
It's all
If
the
the
same.
divorce rate
Like,
over
even
here
if
is
I don't like you,
50,
I'ma stay married,
60%.
You know, like
Don't
Nah, I
mean
ain't doing that
don't mean
shit.
it. Don't mean that it's successful.
yeah, it doesn't mean
Just 'cause
that
you
they
stayed.
at each other's,
Well,
throat
I can
or
agree
that
with
they
you on
get
that
along
one.
or anything like that. You can't tell me that 99 out of 100 couples.
no, he
I
said.
don't care what country you like each other.
No. I'm not saying that either.
No,
what I'm
he-
saying is this.
No, he said divorced. He
I'm
said
saying
I know,
divorce,
that's
and
what
I'm
I'm
saying
saying.
this.
Commitment.
A lot of our generation, we don't understand how to properly problem solve when we going through shit.
Oh,
the
yeah, for
whole
sure.
thing now is fucking. I'm out of here. I'm
Yeah,
on to the next.
yeah.
I ain't gotta wait.
And now,
I'm out of
look
here.
at
Yeah.
right now. I don't even want to say these chicks' names, but chicks are popular now because they done probably dated, screwed
Steve
the
Harvey's
mama,
daughter?
the
Is that what
daddy,
we talking about?
and the cousin within
Harvey's
2-3
daughter?
months. And it's like, oh, don't judge her because she just a famous and a celebrity. So people do that all the time. Well,
That's
why the fuck
celebrity
should that
chat.
be the norm?
That's
That
celebrity.
should not
Why
be
does
the
that be
fucking
the
norm
norm?
It should-
for
what?
nobody.
So
I'm not judging. I'm just saying for nobody.
so since we talk about Laura Harvey,
That's ugly cat.
Hey, listen.
she fucked the son and the husband. I mean, the son and the father. That's borderline hoish.
Well, we don't know who. First of all, we don't know who she did it with. That's number one.
She
That's
said
number
so.
one. But number two, she could do it with whoever she wants to. She was a single young woman.
Puffy got the pussy.
See, there we go, though.
She grown.
We're saying
A daddy and a son. If I fuck a
But
mama
why
and a
does that have
daughter,
to be the
if I
norm,
fuck a mama
though?
and a daughter, I'm a hoe.
But
No,
what's
you
that, why that
you
gotta be
doing
the
G
norm?
shit. No,
I'm a hoe if I fuck a mama and a
I'm
daughter.
doing
Single, but if I go bone somebody, mama, and the daughter and the cousin, will I be labeled a hoe?
Hell yeah.
Is that hoe-ish?
Nobody
It's hoe-ish.
cares.
Yes.
Yes, it
That's
is.
some hoe-ish
That
shit.
is hoe.
Hell yeah, some hoe and shit.
Okay, y'all. So listen, next week.
I know we out here.
Next week. No, we cool.
Okay.
She controller. She said, "Nigga, you got one. We wrapping shit up. I'm about to go."
All right.
So whatever Fee said, we got about to go. But the series.
Well, no, I mean, I was just saying that I didn't want us to get kicked off, but y'all can do a 6-hour show if you want to.
No, we ain't about to do no 6-hour goddamn
Crazy
show.
men.
I gotta pee, and I gotta hurry up and pee. So listen.
I thought you had your diaper on.
No,
Dog.
No, I don't have my diaper today. I'm loosey goosey. Listen.
Wow. This whole damn party's out of control.
You're so stupid.
God damn.
Man, I'm over here drinking water.
Right. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You know he get cheeky eyed. He be like, man, I'm going home to that blue dress.
Hey,
He won't
I don't even know. Is he? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I ain't even saying.
I ain't seen nothing. I don't know nothing.
Chef Wilson, when did you learn that shit?
Which one?
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
Oh, I just learned that yesterday.
That's because you can keep learning your whole life.
You know,
though, for
you
sure.
know what, and that's a humble and that's a wise man or woman. You know,
He threw that woman in that
just
shit
get
quick.
Fast.
you know, you may
Fast.
just get it yesterday. You know, everybody always want to claim that they know it all. They've been knowing it forever, right?
Yeah.
That's a fool.
For
right
sure.
there.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, it took me some time. My wife and told me stuff
I know.
several times.
I was a damn fool for
And I
drinking
maybe
that
had to
third.
listen.
I was gonna say
I may have
3
listened
empty
to a
cups by you,
song
dog.
or read something, the article, be like, oh, that's what she was talking about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But at that moment, I didn't get it.
You didn't get it. Yeah,
and
for
that
sure.
was okay. And I know
Yeah.
I didn't get it.
As long as you know that.
But I got it yesterday.
Exactly, it's opportunity to learn, dog. And that's a whole part of being a man. Just that understanding the opportunity to learn, dog. Live to fight another day, dog.
Listen,
But
so-
at the end of the day, though, if I don't know some shit, I'm still making the decision based off how I feel like it need to be done. And unfortunately, a lot of like super feminist women don't understand that because they ain't dealt with a nigga who actually make decisions. And sometimes I will make bad decisions, but that's okay.
That's all right.
I will live and
That's
die off those decisions, and I'm gonna take care of you. You won't die in the situation.
And
I'm
that's
gonna
what
take
I
care of you.
learned. That's what I was
Yeah,
taught, real stuff.
for
And
sure.
that's the point that I was trying to make, for real, that women were not taught that. And I feel like I was blessed to be raised around a lot of strong men. You know, I had my grandparents together. My parents was together for half of my life, you know. But no, seriously, but at the same time, they showed us how to be, you know, how to conduct yourself with a man, whatever. And not only that, several of the men in my family were